The biggest mistake people make when it comes to building muscle, losing fat, boosting testosterone, boosting their energy levels isn't actually the way they train, but the way that they eat. And in this video, I'm going to go through every single food which I eat on a week-to-week basis, which enables me to feel like an absolute god. 95% of the time, I do not eat anything which is not on this worktop right now. Burger King, McDonald's, Five Guys, Pizza Hut, nada. I only eat the foods on this worktop. In this video, I'm going to explain why I do this and how this diet will benefit you and how you'll build more muscle and boost your testosterone. Let's go. It'd be rude to not start with the protein sources, as at the end of the day, protein is what's going to drive your muscle growth and drive your recovery and drive your progress in the gym. This is also Billy's favourite part of the food. So I'm going to highlight the main protein sources which I'm eating on a day-to-day basis. I usually just rotate between these 4 to 5 sources of protein. First one being, and most easy to consume, is eggs. Now, eggs are in abundance in my house. I always have eggs. I usually eat about 4 eggs, 5 eggs per day. You might say that that's not good for my cholesterol, but I don't care. Each egg contains 6 grams of protein. So if you're having 4 eggs, that's an easy 24 grams of protein. If you're doing that every day, that's really gonna bump up your weekly protein intake. Next are my 2 favorite sources of chicken. There are actually only 2 sources of chicken anyway, so I don't know what I'm on about. So chicken breast and chicken thigh. Now the difference between breast and thigh is that thigh is gonna be higher in fat and it's gonna have more calories in it. It's still good fat and it's still very good for you, but it's just got a little more calories. So if you're trying to drop weight, you're on a bit of a cut, I recommend you opt for more chicken breast and leave out the chicken thigh. But if you're on a bulk like me at the moment, chicken thigh is great because it gets probably double the amount of calories as chicken breast. Next on the list we have mince. Now mince is really easy and quick to cook. If I was meal prepping, beef mince would probably be my go-to meat. When I was in college, sixth form, I was meal prepping my meals every day. 90% of the time I was having mince because you can cook it in 10 minutes, mix it in with some rice. The good sauce is very, very easy to meal prep. But anyway, I'll do another video on meal prep in the future. Similar to beef mince, we have steak. Personally, I prefer ribeye steak because it's got a little bit more fat on, good fat, and it's going to be a little higher in calories than a sirloin or a fillet. And fillet's just ridiculously expensive anyway, so ribeye would be my best bet. For an average ribeye steak, which is 220 grams, you're looking at about 500 calories and 40 grams of protein. So this is probably the best bang for your buck when it comes to getting your protein sources in and just getting overall nutrients in. Steak is the best protein source out there. It is a little bit costly, so if you're on a budget, maybe you have to go to Aldi or Lidl and see what they have available. But generally speaking, steak is my go-to option when it comes to protein sources. And red meat is the best source of protein for boosting testosterone, as it has a lot of cholesterol and it will bind with your testosterone receptors. Same with egg. Steak and eggs are probably the 2 key testosterone boosters in my diet. Reason being, I try to consume them on a daily basis. I won't have steak on a daily basis, but eggs is definitely a staple in my diet routine. Now we have salmon. This is also a very good source of healthy fats, which is going to boost your testosterone. Here I just have a salmon half side. I find if you buy the fillets, it just adds up to be really expensive. So if you just buy it in a big pack, then it comes out a little bit cheaper. And next out you have smoked salmon. I really don't have this on a weekly basis. I kind of just bought this for the video. But anyway, salmon's very good. Steak, mince, chicken, eggs. These are my top shot protein sources and probably the only and best protein sources that you're going to find in the supermarket. So let's move on to carbohydrates. Next up on the list after our protein sources, which is the most important thing that we need to consider when doing our weekly shop and looking at our diet, we have carbohydrates. Now, in the past, I've experimented with doing a more animal-based carnivore diet and incorporating a little more carbs. And I found that, especially if you want to boost your performance in the gym, if you're boxing, if you're fighting, carbohydrates is definitely a big one. At the end of my second boxing camp, I really just cut out carbohydrates because I wanted to do a bit of a carnivore diet. But I feel a lot better and a lot more fueled when I have some good carbohydrates in my system. I'll try and incorporate carbs around my workout so I can really fuel my gym session. And these are my favorite sources. So, kicking it off, we got wraps. I got these mini tortillas. These are really good for just a little snack. If you want to chuck some chicken in, do a nice chicken wrap, you get some carbs in and you get some chicken in as well. Next are my 2 kind of go-tos. These are ones which I really rotate. I just really like eating potatoes for some reason. I have white potatoes and sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are my favorite because they're kind of a vegetable, but they're always a carbohydrate as well. So it's a good source of both. You get a load of nutrients and they're very, very, very good for you. So you've got the wraps, we've got the potatoes, now we've got the rice. This is probably the most common. Personally, I just think it's fucking boring eating rice every day. It's not something I want to be doing. But then again, if you're meal prepping, white potatoes, it's going to be disgusting if it's sat in Tupperware for 4 hours. Whereas rice is going to be very carryable and easy to take around with you. So if you're taking food to your job, if you're taking food to school, college, university, rice is going to be your best shot at meal prepping. But as I said earlier, I'm going to make a whole different video on meal prepping. And it's very easy to cook, very quick. You can probably mix up some rice in about 5-10 minutes. Next to rice, we have pasta. Now, Pasta's a bit of a weird one. Personally, I'm not a fan of heavy carbohydrates. When I say heavy carbohydrates, I mean bread and pasta. These are very, very filling, kind of heavy carbs, which are going to put you in a bit of a sleepy mood. So personally, I tend to stay away from them as much as I can. But if I've just done a big leg session or a long boxing session, I like to have some pasta. It really just replenishes my muscles and helps me recover. And they're also higher in calories. But on the flip side, you are going to feel very fucking tired. One time I hit legs and I came home, I made a 1,000 calorie bowl of carbonara with pasta, and I just fell asleep for like 2 hours after that. So if you're trying to be productive in the afternoon and your one main goal isn't just fitness, then I'd stay away from pasta, as you are going to feel really sleepy, as it's quite a heavy source of food. Same with bread. Here I've got some white sourdough bread. I tend to have this later on in the day when I'm not really trying to do something too cognitively taxing. Then again, it is a good form of calories, and they are a very dense form of calories. Very easy to eat 1,000 calories worth of pasta rather than 1,000 calories worth of rice. So if you're on a pretty hard bulk right now, you find it hard to actually gain weight, pasta is a good shot for you. But then again, you got to be careful and look at the foods which are giving you bloating, or whether you feel really tired after it. You got to play around and see what works best for you. Personally, as I said earlier, potatoes work best for me. I can function very well after that, and I still feel sharp after eating them. Whereas if I ate pasta for lunch, I'd be on the sofa sleeping instead of filming this video. So take it as you will. But we've got some sourdough bread, cassarecci pasta, rice, tortillas, potatoes. They're my favourite source of carbohydrates. Don't try and overcomplicate it. Keep it plain, simple, and something that you can stick to. At the end of the day, the best diet is the one that you can stick to for the longest. And the third category of food that I like to talk about is fruit and veg. And I've also got some extras to go through after this. I left this one till last because, let's be real, if I put this at the start of the video, you probably would have clicked off by now. But this is very important, and it's just the subtle little differences that you can add to a meal to make it way more interesting. I'm also going to bring in some sauces that I like to use as well. Favourite sources of fruit: watermelon, bananas, mango. I actually forgot to buy blueberries and raspberries from the shop, but I eat a lot of them as well. They're really good to chuck in a smoothie or a milkshake, and watermelon's very good for hydration. I like to eat watermelon after the gym. But yeah, as I said, fruit's a very key part of my diet, especially if you're trying to boost testosterone, get those nutrients in. Fruit is very, very important. It's also a very good form of carbohydrate. I didn't put it in the carbohydrate section because it's not really a pure form of carbohydrate, but you are going to get a lot of energy for this. Typically in the morning, if I'm training early, I'll just have a banana and a bit of honey as well. I actually bring this into the frame as well. I've got some honey. You can get any sort of honey. It's really good carbohydrates. Gives you some quick sugars, quick energy for your workout. If you're training in the morning, my best pre-workout meal go-to, if you don't want to have something heavy, just bananas with a bit of honey. Anyway, so those are the favourite sources of fruit which I'm eating every single day. I try and aim for 5 pieces of fruit a day. I also get a load of other fruit delivered, like apples, pears, but that's boring. I don't want to put it in the video. So let's move on to the vegetables which I'm consuming. Now, don't actually eat a lot of vegetables, thinking about it. I eat sweet potatoes, I have a bit of salad every now and then with a steak. I've also got asparagus. Asparagus is probably the only pure vegetable which I like to eat, but I'm not having this every single day. And tomatoes also very good to throw in with a steak, with a chicken. It just makes meals interesting. If you've got a plain bowl of chicken rice, adding some asparagus, some tomatoes, is very, very useful, and it'll make the meal taste a lot better, and it won't feel like you're eating a wet sock. So I've included some little extra bits into this section. So I've got some Parmesan cheese and feta cheese. Also, if you're bulking, cheese is very good. It's high in calories, it's a good source of dairy, and it's pretty good for you as well. So what I'll do typically when I'm building a meal, I have a protein source, a carbohydrate source, some sort of veg like asparagus or tomatoes, then I'll just top it with some feta or Parmesan for those little extra calories, and maybe I'll just put some salad on. Now it's a good time to talk about sauces, right? So we've got the main core of our meal. Now, sauces is the best way to make a shit meal taste good, alright? Plain chicken and rice can taste like an absolute godsend if you do the right sauces. So, personally, at Tesco, they do this really good Nando's peri-peri sauce. I've also got this Greek yogurt here. This is a really good source of fat, healthy fat, high in protein, pretty low calories if you get the low percentage fat version. And I often mix this with some honey and some nuts. Nuts, very, very important for boosting testosterone. Personally, I like to eat them before bed. So here I've got Brazil nuts, I've got almonds. These are the best forms of nuts for boosting testosterone. Okay, so now we've covered the main 3 core categories. I've got a few extras that I want to add in as well. So here I've got coconut water and I've got almond milk. I use coconut water because I like to make a post-workout smoothie. I put eggs in there, I put nuts in there, I put honey in there, I put banana, blueberries, and I mix it in with this coconut water. It tastes a little bit better than normal water, and it's really good for hydration. It brings some extra electrolytes. And almond milk I like to use in my porridge instead of just using plain milk or water. Almond milk can give it that nice nutty flavour. And when it comes to cooking your food as well, which is very important, something many people don't think about, is butter. Personally, I like to cook the majority of my meals with butter. I've got this Irish organic butter, whatever. I use that to cook, and I also use some good olive oil. If you're going to cook with olive oil, I recommend that you use extra virgin olive oil. It's going to be a purer form of olive oil and better for you. The last thing you want to do if you want to boost your testosterone is be consuming sunflower oils, these seed oils. It's just going to wreck your testosterone. You're going to feel like shit. You're just going to feel sluggish. So stay away from seed oils. Cook with butter or olive oil. Okay, so that is a list of every single thing that I eat on a day-to-day basis. Now, a few foods which you should stay away from and just stop eating. Things like McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Pizza Express, any processed or fast food, stay away from it. The first thing that I say to someone, if they come to me and say they want to get in better shape, lose fat, it's just cut out all the snacks and all the junk food. You'd be amazed on how much progress you can make if you just cut out junk food. Don't even try and eat more chicken or try and eat steak. Just cut out the shit foods which you know that you shouldn't be eating on a day-to-day basis, because at the end of the day, you know which foods you shouldn't be eating and foods that aren't good for you, so just cut them out. It all starts with a decision to cut that shit out, and you'll thank yourself for it when you're building more muscle, dropping more fat, staying lean and boosting your testosterone, right? It's not just about building muscle as well. Your diet is going to impact the testosterone you're able to produce in your body. You need to fuel your body with the healthy fats, salmon, steak, eggs, nuts. These kind of things are going to lift your testosterone up. You're going to build more muscle, stay leaner and feel a lot more energized throughout the day. Anyway, that is the end of this video. I just wanted to give you a little guide on what I'm eating day to day, and hopefully you can take away some ideas and take away a new shopping list on things that you can improve into your diet, into your life, and you will feel better for it once you change your diet. The diet is the biggest shift and change that people make in their lives when it comes to getting healthier, getting fitter, building more muscle, boosting your testosterone. The diet is the number one thing which people tend to fuck up. So make a conscious change, make a conscious effort to go to the supermarket, pick out the right foods. So hope this video helped. If it did, make sure you drop a like, comment what you thought of the video, what kind of videos you want to see me make next, and I'll see you in the next one.